I'm like the Energizer Bunny right now. Hey guys, what's up? This is the third time I've tried to film the start of this video because I'm too much of a fucking rambler, you guys. Like, I can literally just sit and talk incessantly for like at least 10 minutes without getting anywhere. I feel like I'm like super ADD, ADHD today, which I'm not. Like, I'm not diagnosed with that. I know I don't have that. People that do have that and like take Adderall for that shit, yeah, I know I don't have that because when I take Adderall, I don't feel better. I feel like I am cracked the fuck out on too many lines of cocaine. Anyway, I wasn't sure what I was going to film today, but I knew I needed to film. And as you guys know, I've told you several times before, I keep an ongoing list in my phone of ideas I have that I want to share with you guys or things I want to talk about. All of the things are things that I feel like I can only talk about for like a few minutes each. Like, they aren't worthy of like a whole 20-minute video for themselves. So I thought today I would bite the bullet and try and condense my phone list into one video. Just make this a video of like life/love advice, like things I thought up recently. And hopefully I can do this without going on 400 million tangents or talking out of my ass for too many minutes. I am such a fucking long-winded speaker, y'all, but I think that's why I'm perfect for fame. Like, I just want to be on a motherfucking stage, like, with all you bitches. Yes, I call women bitches, whatever. That's me reclaiming the word. How many people are gonna dislike this video because I just said that? If you just dislike this video because I said that, I have a present for you. God, I'm a sassy bitch. Whatever, let's just get into it. This is basically Brighton's random thoughts. This is all the shit I have on my phone. Let's get into it, starting with number 1. If you're in a relationship, or talking to someone, dating someone, fucking someone, whatever it is nowadays. What the fuck is a relationship, honestly? The amount of, like, relationships I've been in that haven't been relationships just because the guy has been too pussy to just say that we're exclusive or boyfriend, girlfriend. It's like, what the fuck is the difference? Like, I literally blow my brains out. It doesn't even make sense to me. What is the motherfucking difference? Like, I've been so involved with guys that have literally been like my boyfriends, but because we haven't had the conversation about them being my boyfriend, they weren't my boyfriend. So, fuck 2018, man. I don't fucking know. We're just gonna say relationship is an umbrella word for anything you could be doing with a guy, because I don't fucking know what a relationship is, honestly. In a relationship, always remember that sometimes it's not about you and maybe it's about the other person. So what I mean about this is, you guys know how I'm all about like the universe and everything has a greater meaning and everything that you do has a bigger purpose. Everyone you meet has a bigger purpose. Like, everything that's happening to you in your life, even the most small little minor instances that don't seem like a big deal, are affecting your future. Like, everything fucking matters, okay? It does. What I mean by this is, maybe it's not about you and maybe it's the other person. Is maybe this person isn't in your life to teach you a lesson. Maybe this person's in your life because they need you. Maybe you're teaching them a lesson. Like, I feel like it's really hard for people to think about that because we're all so fucking egocentric and that's how we're wired to be. Like, survival, fight or flight, like, it is in our nature to like care about ourselves more than anyone else and to protect ourselves more than anyone else, because like it's us. Like, who do I have if I don't have myself? I'd be fucking dead. As egocentric people, it's really hard to believe that maybe it's not about us, but maybe an interaction with a person or something that's going on with someone in your life isn't about you, which I just think is really humbling to think about, because I can reflect back on every guy that I've been in a relationship with and tell you like flat out like 3 things that I learned from being with that person, from that relationship, from whatever, like what I got from it, how it bettered me, blah, blah, blah. But I never stopped to think about like, oh, well, like, I was in their life too. Like, they weren't just in my life, you know, like I was in their life too. Like, I was impacting them, I was teaching them, I was influencing them. Like, I had just as much impact on their life as they did on mine. And maybe the reason that I met this person and was involved with this person, yeah, maybe it helped me, taught me some things, whatever, but maybe God and the universe put us together because that person needed me more than I needed them. And sometimes it's just not about you. And I think that everyone needs to take a step back and think about that. I hope that makes sense. That's just something I think about sometimes. It's that I always think about all the reasons why people are put in my life and what I can learn from them and what that means and the greater meaning. But it goes both ways. Like, I'm impacting their life too. Their life would be completely different if they hadn't met me, which is not only humbling to think about that it's not about you, but it's also very empowering to realize that you are influencing the people around you. You are affecting people's lives. You're teaching them things. You're bettering them. maybe worsening them depending on who the fuck you are. But it's not always about you. Remember that. 2, this is something that I've mentioned in another video before, which I'll link down below. It's one of my more popular videos. It's a very motivational, inspiring, pump you the fuck up talking video. So I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. If you're new here, love it. But in that video, I talk about how you shouldn't really be like intimidated by people or like have expectations of who people are going to be like or what they're going to be like, because at the end of the day, everyone's a fucking human, right? Like, doesn't matter how attractive someone is, how whatever someone is, we're all fucking people. Like, we're all the same. Believe it or not, like, you and I are literally the same as Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner. Like, maybe that's really hard to conceptualize because they have so much more money and they're beautiful and whatever the fuck, but they're just people. They take shits every day. They get broken up with. They probably get ghosted. People use them. Shit happens to them that happens to us. They just have more money. But money doesn't make you a better person. We're all just fucking people. But I think it's really hard to remember that we're all just people. Like, sometimes you meet people who are so beautiful or so this or so that you're very intimidated to them, or you have like this preconceived notion of how they're gonna act or how they're gonna be. And just fucking remind yourself that people are just people. Because I was talking to one of my best friends / roommates the other day, Carol. Her and I were talking the other day, and she told me that when she first met me, because we met through my friend Morgan, because Carol and Morgan have been best friends since like elementary school, and then I met Morgan and I met Carol through her. Carol was telling me that when she first met me and we first started hanging out like with Morgan, she was like not intimidated by me, but just really thought that I was someone that would not like her or wouldn't want to be friends with her because I was like in XYZ with Morgan, so I was like a sorority girl. I have like the blonde hair, whatever. It kind of looked like maybe I'd be a mean girl. Like, I've been told that before, but once you get to know me, haha, that ain't true. When I met her, I was in like the very beginning of all the shit that was going down with the ultimate fuckboy. So like when I would see her with Morgan, like I would be talking to Morgan about like the latest ultimate fuckboy update, and I'd be talking about like how I was sleeping with this guy and all this like drama and all this stuff going on. And Carol, just as like this observer, was like, oh my god, like this girl's too cool for school, like she's having sex with these older guys and like blah blah blah, like telling these crazy stories, and she's in a sorority and like she would definitely never want to hang out with me. And Carol just didn't really think her and I would ever be real friends. And I never ever once, not even for 1 second, thought like, oh, I think this Carol girl like isn't cool enough to be my friend. And like here she was thinking that like I was probably thinking that, and I wasn't at all. Like, I loved Carol from like the first week I met her. I thought she was a real ass bitch, and now here we are 3 years later and we're like best friends. And I just think it's so funny that she like told me that she like thought someone like me, whatever her preconceived notion of someone like me was, wouldn't want to hang out with her. And what's especially funny about it, besides that her first impression was wrong, obviously, is that outside looking in, you don't know the reality of any situation, no matter how good or bad it seems. You don't know unless you're living it. So Carol, as an outsider, meeting me for the first few times, just observing me, like hearing me talk about stories of XYZ with Morgan and our date functions and whatever, and then hearing me talk about stuff with the ultimate fuckboy and going to his frat house and having sex with him, blah, blah, blah. I get how that sounds kind of glamorous. Like, that sounds like the cliche, like, hot, cool sorority girl hooking up with the older frat guy who's kind of a douchebag, blah, blah, blah. But the reality was, yeah, I was an XYZ, but I was miserable. I didn't have a lot of friends. I hated it. I was a target from the beginning. I constantly was thinking about whether or not this was the right decision for me. So while I'm sitting there talking about these things and making it seem so glamorous, the reality is I'm miserable. Carol doesn't know that as a stranger. Carol also doesn't know, just listening to me talk about some guy that I'm hooking up with, she doesn't know all the details of that. So she doesn't know that this is a guy who never fucking treats me with respect, acts like I don't fucking matter, literally just uses me for sex, like all the nitty gritty shitty parts of the ultimate fuckboy. She didn't know those things. So while it just sounded like I was so cool and so awesome and whatever, the reality is I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had the lowest self-esteem. I was miserable in my cool girl sorority. I was letting a guy walk all over me. I had no backbone. Like, I wasn't a cool girl at all. I was a scared, insecure girl. And I just can't believe that she thought that, because what she thought about me was like so far from the truth. And I think that 90% of the time, the things we think about people that we first are getting to know or that we first meet are usually wrong. Like, nothing is as it fucking seems ever. So you just have to remember that we're all people and we're all dealing with shit, and it doesn't matter how cool or pretty you think someone is. Like, the reality of whatever you think is going on is probably a lot more boring or bleak than what you're making it up to be. So don't put anyone on a pedestal, because We're all just fucking sheeps trying to figure out what all the other sheep are doing, and we all just want to fucking follow the status quo, and we all just want to fit in, and we all are fucking clueless, okay? Number 3. Whenever you're judging someone, whether it's subconscious or you're just being a fucking bitch, like you notice that you see a picture of a girl that you don't think is that cute, or a guy that you think isn't that cute, or you see someone who you think is like overweight, or whatever it is, like people are so judgmental. Whatever it is that you see about someone that you're instantly judging them for whatever reason it is on Instagram, in real life, I don't care. The second that you start judging someone, I challenge you to stop yourself and really ask yourself, why am I judging this person? Why do I feel the need to make or think a negative comment because that girl has a big nose, or because that guy's overweight, or because that person might be handicapped? Okay, yeah, I know that's fucked up, like making fun of people that are handicapped, but there are definitely people that do it. I'm just saying all examples. Like, people are fucking judging all the fucking time, whether they realize it or not, whether they realize that it's a negative thing or not. They're just fucking subconsciously judging people. And when you catch yourself doing that, really ask yourself, why am I judging this person? Why do I feel the need to think up a negative comment about their appearance or whatever it is about them? And what does it do for me? Like, am I gonna be a better person after this judgment? Am I gonna feel better about myself when I point out that girl's fucking hair looks weird? Like, what is it doing for you, and why do you feel the need to do it? It's a really good way to make you self-aware, because first of all, you're going to stop yourself when you notice yourself being judgmental, being negative, nasty, whatever, which is good. You should stop yourself when you're acting that way. And then to really ask yourself, like, why? Like, why do I care at all enough about this person or this situation to just pass judgment without knowing them, without knowing the situation, whatever? And I just don't think people do that ever. Like, how many people are like, why am I judging this person? No one's fucking do that, because no one fucking cares about being a good person, honestly. And I'm not perfect, y'all. Like, I am so much more self-aware than most people. I fucking mess up too. I still judge certain people. I will still catch myself seeing something about someone I don't like and being like, oh, that looks weird, or I don't like that fucking outfit at all. Whatever. Like, everyone's human. Like, we're all gonna judge sometimes, like, whether we're like consciously doing it or not. And even I have to be like, why do I care enough at all to give a fuck about the way this person looks or the way this person's dressed or whatever? Really think about it, because you're not doing anything but harming yourself and filling your brain with negative thoughts and spewing negative energy in the world. You judging someone just makes you seem like you're a hateful, nasty person. Like, you have so much anger or something inside of you that the only way that you can feel better is by pointing out the flaw in someone else. Why do we do that? It's fucking nasty. Number 4, always remember that you have to test run or try out literally anything until you get it right. Like, no one gets things right the first time. No one's perfect. And this goes for legitimately every fucking aspect of your life. Here's an example from my life to show you how this applies to literally anything. My friendships. I remember literally starting in elementary school, like, my friends, like the people that I would choose, I would always be friends with like at least one really mean or like kind of fucked up girl. And I don't know why. Like, I can literally tell you exactly who my like mean fucked up friend was in like 3rd grade, who my kind of mean fucked up friend was in 5th grade, who my kind of mean fucked up friend was in 9th grade. I've always been friends with someone who hasn't really been a good friend, someone that shouldn't really be my friend, someone that shouldn't be in my corner, whatever the fuck. It took me constantly having this kind of shitty fucking friend to finally realize, like, as I reached adulthood, that I don't have to have friends like that. And just because I'm friends with someone for X amount of time doesn't mean I need to stay friends with them forever. And now my friendships are like really solid. Like, I pick people who have my back and I have their back, and the friendship is nothing but a positive thing. And I'm surrounded by really supportive people, but I haven't always just been able to like pick out the best friends. Like, I wasn't just born knowing exactly how to pick the best friends and which people to keep around. Like, no one's born knowing fucking anything. But now that I've had like so many shitty friends, I can now understand and like conceptualize what it is that I think a friend is and what a friend needs to be and what it is that I want out of a friend. So now in the future, whenever I pick friends, make friends, I kind of know pretty quickly whether or not I think someone is someone I want in my corner, someone who I value and someone who I think is friend worthy, or someone who I think is kind of a shit and I don't want to pursue that friendship, you know? It took me literally like 18 fucking years of my life in shitty friendships and drama and all this petty shit to figure out what the fuck it is that I want out of friends. It took me like my literal whole life up until like college. You just have to fucking test drive everything and try shit out. Like if that was just for my fucking friendships, like don't even get me started on all the test driving and shit I had to do when it came to guys I liked, guys I wanted to date, when it came to my fucking family and like being a good sister and daughter and whatever, when it came to school, when it came to going after things I wanted, when it came to figuring out who the fuck I am as a person. Like no one fucking gets it right the first time. No one gets it right the first fucking 10 fucking times. I was someone that always fucking had a really shitty friend, and it took me until I was literally almost in my 20s to be able to fathom the fact that I don't have to have fucking shitty friends like that if I don't want to. It's literally that simple. No one is fucking born knowing the right way to do things. We all just gotta fucking figure it out as we go. Number 5, always be one step ahead of everything you do. Like you cannot do or say anything without first thinking ahead of what the repercussion of that action or word is going to be. Nobody does this, it seems like. I know people who are literal fucking real adults, like 30s, 40s, who still don't fucking understand this. You have to be one step ahead always. You can't just be like, I'm just gonna do this, I'm just gonna say this, I'm just gonna fucking wing this, and I guess we'll see what happens. No, like you can't fucking do that. Your whole life will be hell. You have to be fucking smart enough to think about what's gonna happen as a result of this decision that you're going to make. All the time. I'm constantly doing this. You guys don't even know how many times a day I bite my tongue. Like, I'm not even kidding, probably at least 30 times a day. I hear someone say something really fucking bitchy and I want to tell them they're a bitch and I don't, because that would cause conflict I don't need in their life. There's a lot of fucking times that people say really dumb shit that I know for a fact is wrong and I could correct them, but I just know correcting them probably isn't going to do a lot for me. They're going to think I'm an arrogant and pompous bitch for correcting them, and quite frankly, I don't give a fuck enough to correct them. I'm constantly thinking like that, and because I think like that, I have very little drama in my life because I don't put my fucking foot in my mouth. I'm constantly trying to figure out what the fuck is the best action to take. I'm constantly trying to think about, okay, if I do this, what is the repercussion going to be? If I go and do this or have this conversation with this friend, this is going to cause a chain reaction of now this person talking to this person who might talk to this person, which then it's going to get back to me, and then I'm going to be in a world of trouble, whatever the fuck it is. Before I say something, I'm thinking, when I say this, what's this person's reaction going to be? Is it going to be a beneficial thing that I said this, or am I going to cause myself a world of hurt because I just couldn't keep my fucking mouth shut? You have to be one step ahead. You need to be thinking, okay, if I'm going to do this or say this, what's going to be the chain reaction? People that don't think like that just say what they want, do what they want when they want to on impulse because, I don't give a fuck, I'm allowed to say what I want, I'm allowed to do what I want. Yeah, you're allowed to do that, but you're also probably going to fuck up your whole fucking life because you can't just take one fucking goddamn second to think about what the fuck's gonna happen as a result of your fucking poor decision or because you just couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut. So always be one step a fucking ahead. And that goes for the internet too. Probably even more so with the internet because once you type something and post it or whatever, I don't care how fast you delete it, someone screenshot it, someone fucking saw it, someone knows you said it, and that's really gonna bite you in the ass. So especially on the internet, if you're gonna fucking say something, you better think really fucking hard about what the chain reaction is gonna be as a result of that comment that you just had to make because you were just so riled up and you just had to say how you felt. Newsflash, most people don't give a fuck about how you feel anyway, so keep your opinion to yourself and keep your life drama-free. Number 6, pretty self-explanatory, but no one fucking understands that. And that's why people stay in shitty relationships. They tolerate shit from fuckboys, fuckgirls, whatever. They stay in things that keep them unhappy. And that's because, believe it or not, People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If some guy keeps just fucking you and not calling you and keeping you as their play toy and doesn't text you back enough and just does all this shit that makes you so unhappy and so frustrated that you feel like you need to slide in my DM to ask me for advice on the situation, you want to know why that guy's doing that shit to you? Because in some way or another, you've told him that he's allowed to treat you like that. God only knows that's exactly what was fucking happening with Ultimate Fuckboy. He got away with all that horrible shit because I let him. I kept coming back. I never once, put him in his place, really, and then, never talked to him again. I just kept letting it happen. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So if someone's treating you like shit all the fucking time, it's not really them. It's not because they're some horrible person. It's you. You have literally established, yeah, you can talk to me that way, you can do this to me, and I'm still gonna be here, still trying desperately to get your attention. Once you set the bar for how you think you deserve to be treated and you let people know, people will rise up to that bar if they care about you and want you in their life. If they aren't going to rise to that bar, then that's not someone you need in your life. And if you don't set a bar and you just kept letting shitty people do shitty things to you, I'm sorry, but it's your fault because you're allowing them to do it. If some guy treats you like shit and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to make it better, fucking get rid of them because you're allowing them to treat you like shit, bitch. It's all your fault. It really is. Number 7, as hard as it is to believe, until you've had a real love, a real relationship, whatever, I think most people are born kind of thinking they're unlovable. Until you've had someone be in love with you and you've had that feeling and you understand what that's like, you think you're unlovable. You really do. Even when I had my ex-boyfriend who was in love with me and I loved him too, he was a horrible person, but he still loved me. Even after that, I still felt I'm not lovable. I'm so weird. Oh my God, I had so many reasons why I didn't think anyone would actually want to be with me. It's kind of I post these kind of scandalous pictures on the internet and I'm really outspoken and I curse and I'm really weird and blah, blah, blah. It's just why would anyone love that? Why would someone want to be with me? And it's really hard to believe. I don't know why we're wired this way, that it's so hard to believe you're unlovable until it happens, but I promise you that you are, because even someone like me who has all this confidence, there was a point that I genuinely believed, no one's ever gonna want to be with me long term. What the fuck? It really wasn't until I met Brandon and saw that someone older and established and mature liked me for me, genuinely liked it all, genuinely supported the Instagram and thought everything I did was so cool and loved my YouTube videos, would watch my videos. Brandon really fucking liked me. And Brandon was a really mature ass dude. He was a fucking doctor, okay? So if a doctor, probably one of the most serious people I've been involved with, could be nah, I'm down with this bitch. I'm down with your shit. You're fucking rad. That was kind of the pivotal point for me where I realized I shouldn't have any self-doubt. I am fucking lovable. And you are too. And it's really hard to believe it until it happens. But just keep waiting, keep being positive, keep demanding respect from the guys that you choose to have in your life, because someone will love the fuck out of you for exactly who you are. Even if you're a porn star, someone will fucking love you for exactly who you are. It's true. You will find someone who will love everything about you. So please don't waste time thinking you're unlovable, because that's just going to do self-harm. It's not good to think negative thoughts about yourself. And it's just really hard to believe until it happens, but it will happen and it is true. And this is me personally promising you that. And number 8, this video is getting long, so I'm just gonna wrap it up with this last thing. Whoever you're interacting with, whoever you're conversing with, whoever's in your life, whatever the fuck the situation is, you gotta be able to put yourself in that person's shoes. You have to be fucking empathetic. I really think empathy is something that makes the entire world go round. If every single person on this planet was empathetic, the world would be a beautiful place, because everyone would care about how everything affects other people instead of just worrying about their damn selves. I promise you, if you have empathy and you try to put yourself in other people's shoes and you try to look at things from other people's perspectives, not only will you be a much smarter, more well-rounded person because you're opening up your mind to all these different perspectives and whatever, you're also going to be a much better friend, a better partner, a better everything, because you're someone who actually can conceptualize what another person's going through and then care about them in the way they need to be cared for, because you're not a selfish piece of shit. Really, every single time you are interacting with someone or someone's being rude or whatever the fuck it is, instead of just being oh, fuck that person, or snapping or getting upset or whatever it is, there's literally 1 million examples, just be why do I think this person's acting this way? Or why do I think this person feels the way that they do? If you just take 10 seconds to try and think about the situation or the conversation or whatever it is from the other person's perspective, it will make everything way fucking better. Instead of just being like, oh, well, fuck you, like, why are you being so rude? Be like, why is this person being rude? Like, what could have happened to them today in their life? Are they holding on to pain from their past? Like, you never know what the fuck someone's going through, and that's why you should always be as least judgmental as possible and ask yourself why you feel the need to judge if you do, and always be as kind as possible because you don't know what the fuck someone is harboring on the inside. But if you can just take a step back and put yourself in their shoes and think, well, damn, how would I feel if that happened to me? Or how would I be acting if I was put in that situation? Or whatever it is. Really feel for the people around you and the people you interact with, and your whole fucking world will be better. Start practicing empathy. Like, that could probably be my number one advice for, like, all people, all races, all genders, all anything. If you want to be a better person and you want your life to be better, your relationships to be better, everything about your life to be better, start practicing some motherfucking empathy. Start actually giving a fuck about what other people are going through and start trying to think about why people are or act the way that they do. Because people don't just, like, wake up one day being pieces of shit. There's probably a lot of pain and a lot of bullshit that went into one person's life to make them how they are now. And some people, there's, like, no hope for them. Like, you can cut out really negative people. You don't have to spend time being empathetic to their situation to try and figure them out. But, like, the people that you do care about and your friends and your relationships and whatever, really just take a step back and think about what they could be going through, you know? It's really not that hard. Yeah, that's some shit that I just have written into my phone. Like, I'm constantly thinking of things and I'm like, I want to share that, I want to share this, whatever.